Hey gang, how y'all doing? Welcome to Mob Guppy, where the Guppy is the mob. Posiwi at first in, John Oliver second in, John Doe without an H third in, Big J's Fish Keeper. How y'all doing? It is Saturday, and I've been busy today. And Daryl Deemer, how you doing, buddy? Uploading your last unboxing video. There you go. Yeah, I'm enjoying a delicious Diet Dr. Pepper. And for lunch, I just finished up stuffed grape leaves that I got at the Natural Grocers. It was delicious. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed it all the way around. Bob Kaler in the house. The party can start. The party can get going. Gang, I don't know about you, but I think we've all had issues with evil duckweed. I know I have. And I am like right now having, and I'm doing, my water change schedule's been really good. I've been really on it. You know, we all miss a turn sometimes because of busyness or what have you. I've been on my water change schedule, but my duckweeds, holy capoli, mushrooming. It well, I'm going to tell you, Bosiwi, if you have goldfish, of course, if you have goldfish, they're begging for duckweed because the goldfish eat them, eat it real good. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I went through and I netted out a bunch of it yesterday. I mean, a bunch. And when I did my water changes this week, I got rid of a bunch. And ironically, I went and ooh, you're driving right now to meet Ro and her kids to go to Ponds and Plants Fish Store Extraordinaire. There you go, Bob Gaylor. That sounds like fun. So Ro's a part of the Ro is a part of the Chattanooga fish keeper mafia. I didn't realize that. Renee, how are you? You can't get duckweed to grow. Think of that as a blessing. It. I'm going to tell you something. I'm not like a testing fiend when it comes to my water. But I'm doing large water changes. I have plants in the aquariums, and it is growing. But I will tell you this. You know, people frequently talk about this about egg layers and stuff like that. If you want to go, and I just did a couple like back to back, and my water changes are a third to half of the aquarium for the small guppy tanks. You know, the 10-gallon tanks. I do about half the water, and I will tell you, it's is that I is I'm getting, by the way, just a mushrooming of fry. I have more fry than I know what to do with, which is great. Um, but what I have been doing, and is that for whatever reason they planted a tree in the backyard, and there's like just around the trunk, there's a little pit of about 4 inches, and I put in my waste buckets. How I do my water changes is this. I have what I call clean water buckets and dirty water buckets. Hey, Finoxky Tanks, how are you? And my clean water buckets, I don't allow the either to meet. So the dirty water buckets, I'll drop in like whatever's left of the zucchini or the yellow squash in there. I will I'll put a bunch of duckweed when I do my water changes. And I've been dumping it on the tree. So the tree is benefiting from the wonders of duckweed and an occasional little pond snail. And it usually gets about 6 gallons of water a week, because the rest I usually throw it over the front yard. On Monday, I'll do a big water change, and because the guy is coming in from True Green, the True Green guy is coming in. So there you go. Yeah, that's good, Renee. That's a good idea. It Yeah, I hate to come across as a negative person, but I'm not high on duckweed. Just not high on it. Some people love it, and I'm not criticizing it, just me personally. It's that's sort of the deal going on there. Let's see what else is going on in my little life. I don't know. Today I'm gonna drive over, and I'm driving to Pittsburgh, Kansas, and which is about 40 minutes away, and I'm meeting a friend for dinner. I found out I know a couple of people um, in north or south eastern Kansas, including my cousin Jim's son is living over there. So I'm going to go over and check that out. They have a couple of fish stores over there, one called Pet Sense and one called Claws and Paws. So it's I'm going to see which one has a good fish a good fish type thing. So Claws and Paws and Pet Sense, and apparently Pet Sense is and I'll find out what they have going on there. So I'm looking forward to going in and see what's going on at each one of those stores. And so I'm looking forward to it very much. So yeah, so I've got and also I need to see if somebody will take my extra cross guppies. The man who broke up Cardi B's marriage and who was her new boyfriend, Peter Thiel. Yeah, I'll tell you what. She she seems like a classy lady. All right. Apparently, her husband has had a tad bit of a zipper truck, which is not good. Yeah. Well, the Twins, it looks like they're going to the playoffs. Vikings, it looks like they could be going to 0-2. Hopefully, the Vikings win this week. God help us. Bolo's here in my lap. Bolo's been real clingy. I have to do some work. This is frightening when you guys hear this. I have to actually go and replace one of my circuit breakers for the power to my home. It's croaked. It's not going anywhere. So I bought the circuit. So I'm going to have to cut the power to the entire house for hopefully no more than, more than 5 minutes or so. it should be a relatively easy thing to do. So I bought the circuit, which was like $8, and so I'm gonna go in. I didn't get the brand I wanted. If it doesn't look like it fits right, I'll turn everything back on, and then I'll go over to Lowe's and pick up the same brand. I got it at there's like an Ace Hardware. It's really a nice one, just around the corner from my house. So it's like, why go? Why go to Lowe's? I can just go into there. And then I realized, oh, I'm out of coffee. So I went to Sam's Club, and on the way back from Sam's Club, I stopped by Natural Food Grocers. There you go. I'll tell you what, John Oliver. Um, here's the deal: is that my dad had season tickets when I was a kid to the Minnesota Vikings. My grandfather was a bond salesman, was one of his jobs, and he sold the bonding for the original Met Stadium where the Vikings and Twins played. I have so it's more of like a Minnesotan family thing with me. Yeah, it's where I'm originally from beautiful Minneapolis, Minnesota, the home of some wonderful looting. Big on the looting. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Posiwi, your dad jokes that Doug told really good, and the Subaru joke was very funny. Yeah, I liked it. By the way, I my next car, which I'm away from, I have a 3-year-old car with 37,000 miles on it. But my next car is going to be uh, a plug-in hybrid, and just because you can plug it in and drive to work, technically, I'll probably end up using a tank of gas, every 6 weeks. Vinny the Mooch in the house. Have I missed anybody, by the way? No, I think I got everybody. If you're here, by the way, please say hi. Hey, I have a question for you. And, Kaler, you may be a guy on this. Daryl Deemer. What's happened to Jeff Rose? Fish keeping? There's like 2 channels I really liked watching that all of a sudden have like disappeared. They're there, but they're not putting out new content. Jeff Rose being one of them, and the other one being Inglorious Bettas, Gianna. I really enjoyed learning about bettas. I was trying to live vicariously through her before I put up 100 bottles throughout my home. So it's yeah. So I'd like to know what has happened to our good people. Dr. Vinny Boombots. Dr. Vinny Boombots was that was a Dangerfield joke, right? Yeah, Doug Gray, you'd like Jeff Rose. He's a good guy. Um, he has a bunch of aquariums, and Inglorious Bettas probably got married and moved on from Bettas. She's like a judge with the International Betta Congress, so who knows? Chewy, what's up, man? How are you? Well, Rodney Dangerfield wasn't happy with many things, but he was, from everything every comedian ever says, he's one of the sweetest men who's ever lived. So, you have another sip of delicious Diet Dr. Pepper. So, Bolo is here in my lap. He's exceptionally clingy today. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. Thought Chewy was on tour as Bon Jovi's new lead guitarist. By the way, thank you, Doug, for getting us in on this. Has John Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora, have they made up? Or is Richie Sambora no longer touring with them when they're on tour? Yeah, that sounds good, Doug. No, they have not made up. Well, you're close enough to Jersey, Doug Gray. You have your thumb on it. So yeah, it's a replacement guitarist. It's somebody that's a hired hand. Yeah, no, they had a falling out. Richie and John had a falling out, and I think it had to do with money. I do not, Chewy. I do not know them. Um, so the process of here's what I have to do today. I have to go and my fish type stuff. I have to do a couple of different things. Number one, I need to set up more water to be ready for the water changes. I need to feed right when we're done with the live stream. I'm gonna feed the wonderful guppies. I'm gonna feed the guppies, um, some Daphnia, frozen Daphnia. And so I do like 4 or 5 cubes. I allow it to defrost. I put a little bit of the treated water for the aquarium in there, let it defrost, and I, mix it up. I put it in a specimen type thing and go from there. But you know what I need to do? I saw somebody do this, and I don't know off the top of my head who I saw it, but it was brilliant. Like those plastic mustard bottles? I saw somebody that they after they did the net with the brine shrimp, they did a funnel on the top of one of those things, poured aquarium water into it, and treated water into it, and then just sprayed. Atkins Nature Aquariums, how are you? Welcome to the live stream. 12 here, 6 thumbs up. Thanks, gang. Yeah, that I may have gotten it from Jesse, Renee. I may have gotten it from Jesse. Well, the deal is you can do that with with Daphnia. You can do that with a Cyclops. So you can do like a mixed feeding with the Cyclops and the baby brine shrimp. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do that, Doug Gray. I think I'm going to have to do that. I like that idea. Hey, Atkins Fish Nature Aquariums. I'm great. It is Saturday. It got down to the 50s this morning. I slept like an absolute baby. My air conditioning, I have my AC set to 72. It has not kicked in yet today, so I'm saving money. I'm doing laundry. I'm going to go meet a friend for dinner. It's all good. Yeah, Renee, that's not a bad idea. Again, I think you can get them. I bet I'm sure you can get them on uh, on Amazon or at Target. Target seems to be a real good place, and I just feel like and you may criticize for what I'm just about to tell you. I feel highly uncomfortable going into the craft store. Color Guppies, welcome to the live stream. Thanks for being here. I feel uncomfortable going to the craft store, but I've gotten like several different things. Like when I ship shrimp out, it is said that you need to have something in there for them to grab onto. And I got like a little mesh type of thing, a polyester mesh thing at like either Michael's or Joann Fabrics, whichever one I went in. I'll just tell you, I walked in horrified. Your nice husband, Renee. Just tell him how much we think of him and that we'd love him even more. We'd like him. We'd love him as much as you do. But we'd think more of him. And we know what the type of man he is for more aquariums. Everyone needs more aquariums. So, David Samsel, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. Yeah, I am so ready. Yeah, John Oliver, I'll tell you what, it's Jeffrey Cunningham. Hey, I saw your note, by the way. I wrote back to you. Let me know if what works for you and we'll make it happen. I'm having, by the way, a mushrooming of fry. I mean, just boom. And I'll tell you something. There's something about doing back to back water changes. Yes, getting rid of it. I'm a fairly peaceful man, except for the duckweed. You're putting your first trio together today? Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, David Samsel. No, do not get duckweed. Avoid. Here's the negative about duckweed. It's that if you're trying to grow any plants anywhere in the lower part of your aquarium, duckweed will take out all the lights coming from the top. If you have a lot of natural light in your thing, it may be okay. Yeah, Posiwi, that's sort of the deal. All I'm going to tell you is this. Choose the characteristics of what you want to perpetuate. Just choose what you think you'd like to do. I know it's difficult, but just go from there. It's I'm now good. By the way, I hate to come across as hey, I can do that. I can send me a note. Yeah, but the plants that I want to grow, chewy, and I understand people love it and it works. There's certain little I get that. I breed something called Guppies. And hornwort is my plant of choice. And the deal is with the hornwort, they need light. Let there be light to get it to grow. So it's funny is that every one of my 10-gallon tanks that I have set up got the same amount at the same time when I put them up when I moved in. I have a couple of tanks where I'm now at the point where I have to go out and get rid of some of it. Yeah, hornwort, it grows thick, it grows fast. I love hornwort. I made the mistake of getting guppy grass, bad mistake. It grows hair algae really quick for whatever reason for me. And I think Doug Gray's talked about that as well. Doug uses the water sprite, which I think he has a lot of luck with. Well, I'm not saying that duckweed is totally worthless. I'm saying that, for how I use it, yeah, it's not what I want. Not what I want at all. So, that is one of the things. Again, I'm a very, very simple man, and that's sort of what I want. It's all about the guppies for me. I'm not doing anything else. And by the way, I don't have anything else that it's going from there. Purchased some money wort recently from tons of water sprite. I sold to my local fish store. Yeah, you see, Jeffrey, that's how I got my stuff was that it came with plants. Melvin, how are you? Great having you here. Yeah, water sprite. Yeah, it's just yeah. And you know what? For how I use, I've not used water sprite, so maybe I'll have to give that a shot. What I do like about hornwort is that it grows in a big ball, and those fry can get in there and hide away. That's what I'm all about. Yeah, it's funny is that um, I'm very fortunate. I do not have to. I don't have to go out of my way to fertilize. When I was in a place that had really acidic water, I did, but I don't have to do it now. Yeah, water lettuce. I got some water lettuce at one point, and I had a hard time keeping that alive for whatever reason. And I like it, by the way. I think the world of it. I think it's really a cool plant. But yeah, I just couldn't do it. Yeah, my pH here is like 7.5. The hardness is not tremendously hard. I don't have it at the top of my head. It's not over the top hard. Um, you still bring your mystery sales starting to populate? There you go. Yeah, Renee, I got my water lettuce from a fish club meeting. And one of the guys came in with a bunch of bags. He was selling it I got like a bunch of it for like $2. And it came in from tubs. And for whatever reason, I couldn't get the doggone things to grow at all. So, and I was fertilizing the heck out of it. I had the Easy Green thing. I had the Hornwort. Bingo. Dunno. Excellent, John Doe. Appreciate you lurking. Anytime you're here, it's all good. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. And great having you here. Yeah, thumbs up. It helps me promote the channel. Everybody, please help out. Hate to be beggy or needy. It's the whole process of some of the plants that get to work and what have you. I want to give water spray a try. I still have some guppy grass I haven't been able to get rid of yet. And yeah, that's it. Color guppies, consider that a blessing. Consider the idea that you kill off the guppy grass a blessing. Yeah, I'll tell you what. It loves hair algae. Loves that guppy grass. Loves it. Yeah, except for my big tanks. My 55, my 65. Everything's a sponge filter for me. Works just fine. That's interesting. What's your water like, Atkins Nature Aquariums? Is it's I know people go on and on about guppy grass. I have just it I mean, it's just that's the problem that I have. Well, colored guppies, here's the deal. That is that especially if you have plants shipped in, I am told that and I don't know if this is true or not, but I had one experience. I bought some guppy grass online and it was shipped out, I think at a reasonable time. It melted back and took forever to grow back. Forever. To grow in. The original hornwort I got melted back heavily. I got like a big huge bunch of it and I spread it between several aquariums. And I mean one of those giant, Ziploc bags. So like about 5 handfuls. Every tank I put them in, it melted back. One of them melted back to a thing like that big, like 2 inches, and then boom. Yeah, John, my guppy grass. Now, just I think you almost have to buy it from somebody who's raising it in their house Go to but I would do Hornwort over Guppy Grass, just being fair. It's just my experience. 6-0 out of the tap, very low. Yeah. Crushed coral is the bomb. Yeah, I used, in fact, I have, and how I began to use it when I first got, this one was in Little Rock, which had very soft water, which was actually like six even like yours. Is that I just put it on the bottom of some of my 10-gallon tanks. When I cleaned them out, I got rid of that, and I just put in a media bag with crushed coral in it, one of those zip-up ones. Bingo! Worked really well, and I had a couple of those media bags that I age my water. I just don't take it out and do the prime in the aquarium as I add water in. I don't. I want the water at least aged at least 48 hours. Yeah, baking soda goes from there. Wonder Shell, yeah, and I'll tell you what is that a lot of people use that, David, and I'm not going to argue with what works. I know that works well, and what have you. What I have learned is this: is that the crushed coral lasts forever. So you can get a 20-pound bag, on Amazon. They'll deliver it to your home. And I have a Lowe's thing, and I'm going to take this when I go to whenever they have aquarium meetings yet in Arkansas, and send it home with somebody who needs it. Yeah, I think that coral. I'm sure oyster shells. Something that's going to add that that calcium and that general hardness. Some crushed coral. It's yeah. I ended up uh getting 40 pounds of it, and I just went and you know I bought one of those Lowe's buckets, top on it, sealed. I've got it. Oh, oyster shell is cheaper. I got like a 20-pound bag for for $20. Seemed to do just fine. Aragonite in the past, messy. Yeah, I have filter media bags. I have the tie stream, for my lower level aquariums where I can't get a normal siphon going to get the water out of there. I can uh, I use a small water pump, and I use one of those tie string media bags. Works just fantastic. Yeah, and by the way, you know, for people that have uh, that have really whacked out minerals or lack of them or what have you, and they need to replace them. I don't know when you come into the line where you go to reverse osmosis water and just add your own stuff like the crushed coral stuff like that. But That's not what I have to do with what I'm currently doing. Hey, Jeff at Valley Fish on the road. So I've been invited to a wedding in Ohio in like 3 weeks. I don't know if I can do it. Yeah, Doug, that's a good trick. Yeah, my wedding to Cardi B. I'm not going to my wedding. I'm going to one of my former employees who I've remained really close to. He's getting married. Yeah, I think he's getting married in Cincinnati. So, which, how far of a drive is that? Let me figure this out. 1 second. It's maps, directions. Okay, Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah, 600 miles. I can do that. I think it's Cincinnati. What if it's Cleveland? Yeah, that becomes a little more because that's almost to that's almost to Pittsburgh, which from beautiful Joplin, Missouri, is quite a jaunt. So I have to figure that out. What I'm going to do. I hate missing a live stream. Yeah, wedding that's way too far for a fish meeting or a show. Not far at all. Yeah, there you go. Big J's Fish Keepers. Hey, Ian. Let's see here. Yeah, where is Chattanooga at? He always says that a 12 noon live stream's too late is too early for him because he's always doing one in the middle of the night. Yeah, and the thing is, Renee, do you have a good fish store near you? Do you have a good fish store? Anybody who has a competent one that's really good at what they're doing, you can go there and say, hey, because they're dealing with the same water you are. You can sit there and say, hey, what's going on there? How do you work around it? Is there a cheat that you use? And a lot of times, and aquarium clubs can also give that because people in your area, if there's an active fish aquarium club, they're dealing with the same junk you are. Yeah, David, my thinking is on those is that they don't really do a lot of good seeding the aquarium. The best way to seed an aquarium, and again, most of the times you don't have to do that, is that if you're just putting in like a trio of guppies or just a few fish right in the beginning, it'll seed itself. And you don't have to. I don't use any of that. What I do recommend that you do is that you can take a sponge filter and put it into an aquarium that's already up, and just let it sit in there, and it will get some beneficial bacteria, and they'll go from there. Yeah, squeezing out an existing sponge, that would be helpful as well. So again, it's just um, the bacteria stuff, the bacteria supplements. Um, no one has ever told me, or I've never seen anyone go on and on about how well they work. The fish clubs I'm a member of, no one ever says, "Hey, man, I put in some, a jump start, and that helps me out." And and that's sort of I think, sort of the deal. Yeah, you see, that's a good idea, color guppies. Yeah, extra filters. Yep. I think that makes all the sense in the world. Dr. Pepper, Diet Dr. Pepper, available now in cans. Yeah, I've played with those before too, and and again, I just have not seen it. I don't have substrate in any of my 10-gallon aquariums, none. It doesn't drive me crazy. My big tanks, I have substrate. I have substrate in my Mica Splendens tank, and the Mica Splendens tank that's going up will have substrate. Yeah, I have no issues with that. No issues at all. Experimenting with deeper gravel beds for developing. Yeah. The one thing, by the way, that hey, the Amica Splendid Fry, they're doing fantastic. They're growing really quick. In fact, Doug, I'm glad you asked. If somebody wants to, it's is that anybody who wants to help save endangered species, reach out to me, and I'll send. I have a couple of extra adult males. They'll do one of those adult males with some of the fry, and set you up. Yeah, I'm going to be putting up my second Amicus tank here, fairly quick. Okay, Renee. Hey, Peplin Creek Aquatics. How are you? Welcome to the live stream. Did I miss anybody else here? John Doe, reach out to me. Mobb.guppy, Mobb with two B's, Guppy with two P's, at Gmail. And we can talk about how you can be set up. And the Amica Splendid, though, is that it's a vegetarian It's a vegetarian fish, so you got to feed like spirulina. And for a reason, they don't eat the tabs. Don't ask me why. They don't even eat the granules. You have to do the flakes. And I give them squash, either zucchini, yellow squash, or cucumbers every couple of days, and they go to town on them. They love them. So that's kind of neat. That's kind of neat all the way around. Yeah, lava rock is really good. It's really good. In fact, I have these two chamber sponge filters, and I got the little bacteria. They're not balls. They're sort of like they're like licorice, and that's made for bacteria storage and go from there. But quite frankly, when I begin to add more aquariums and I run out of those things that I have, I really think I'll go to lava rock. I think that's really smart. I think that's really smart all the way. Yeah, and David, the deal is that when back in the dark ages when I had my first aquarium when I was a little kid, underwater filters were the key for making sure that you had the good bacteria, so you ran the air stones, etc. Um, I think depending on what you're doing as far as a hang on back or a sponge filter or uh, it's or having to do with like an outside one, stuff like that, and go from there. Danny Ken, what's up, Ken? How are you? Taking you on in fantasy football this week. Yeah, lava rocks. Yeah, I you know I yeah I like them. They store the bacteria really easily, etc. Eco Complete comes from lava rock. So there you go. Ready to go there, Ken. Ready to go. See what's going on with that. Find out where we're at. I'm a big fan of it's just again, filter media, it's whatever works for you. Whatever works well for you. I'm in favor of it. Yeah, and that's a good tip, is to make sure you're able to monitor their defecations. Alien life forms from the 70s. For 100, Alex. Hey, nope. There you go, Danikin. Go for it. Bag them away. Good luck with that. Oh, yeah. The nun in the wheelchair joke was very good. In your breeding tanks, yeah, that's Virgin Mobile. Yeah. Or Virgin Mobile. Mobile. Give you a little Alabama going on there. Mobile. Mobile, Alabama. Still think you need to write a book with your jokes. You know, that's what you need to do, Doug Gray, is put out a book on your dad jokes as part of the deal. Yeah, I sure will. You had a hunt. Let's see, I missed out on the thing. Shame, 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 Doug. Yes. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Doug Gray, is that I'm not like one of these real serious people on the fantasy on fantasy. There are some of these folks who are so serious about it. You know, they bet on everyone. I don't. It's just I both of my leagues. You know, with some of the Fish Fam, and I'm also in a league with. I'm in a league that's like 14 years running, where half the people have been there the entire time, and that league is all about busting each other's chops. Eh, Renee, I'll tell you the thing about fantasy sports. Okay, here's why I do it. You're in a business meeting and they start talking about hockey or basketball or baseball or what have you. Fantasy sports gives you a reason to sort of be following it. And once you go in and follow it. And by the way, David Samsel, there's a free league at yahoo.com, sports.yahoo.com. You can join right now. There's no money involved and just sample in on it. And, you know, I'll tell you what, it makes my football watching even more enriching. Oh, well, here's how it works. You know, it depends on the league, but most leagues, one quarterback, two or three receivers, two running backs, kicker, a defense, a tight end, and then some leagues have, uh, you know, a flex position, which is usually between a running back and a wide receiver. They go in, and however your league works, out of the blue, um, you know, is that you get points for every yard your guy runs. If he scores a touchdown, you get a certain amount of points. You know, it's lots of fun. There's no limit to bad taste, Posiwi. There's no limit. Yes, Renee, exactly correct. Based on how they play. And there are rules to follow around. You can just sort of walk through. NFL is a fantasy league for a punt returner. Yeah, yeah, they don't want them to die. That's sometimes those punt returns just better if they take a fair catch. Yeah, it's fun. They say the average fantasy football player spends 4 hours a week on fantasy football. There's a reason why my teams are usually in the middle of the pack. I don't put that much time in. Yeah, the Canadian Football League, though, Chewy, there's a difference in the size of the field. There's just, it's, I'm hoping that Sarcastable makes a big run. Sarcastable. Wonderful Sarcastable. So, all right, gang. Well, we've been here an hour. I got to go and get some junk done around the old homestead. Thank you guys for hanging out. We'll see you on Monday. 17 here. 12 thumbs up. Thanks a lot, gang. You, and you have an absolute amazing day. Thanks. Bye bye.